The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 at Hallmark trying to go three wide. No one will let them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it?
Walker Thomas. Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
Welcome back to Primetime Racing TV for tonight's coverage of the Hardline Racing Fast Track Sims Cup Series. We're at the Kentucky Speedway yet again for round 2 of the playoffs, the round of 8 here tonight. In the booth with me is going to be myself and Evan Black, bringing you tonight's coverage. Evan, we brought to you the race Wednesday night. You were actually in the driver's seat for it here at Kentucky. What are we going to see tonight in the Cup cars here?
I don't know much about how the Cup cars handle. I don't race them very much, and especially not at this track, but Wednesday night at least the cars were really tight and they just wouldn't turn. But with this being a day race, it should be a lot slicker. I think we will see the groove move up a lot more than what we did on Wednesday.
That would obviously be a better thing for the drivers. We saw on Wednesday night passing was at a premium where drivers on the outside groove were able to really keep the momentum wound up and pinch the inside down, and it made passing really difficult. So we'll see if that occurs tonight as qualifying is underway and soon to wrap up.
I know it was Wednesday, you're going to want to run on the bottom, but whenever you try to pass someone, you need to be on the outside.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of an opposite effect. You want to run one way under or by yourself, but if you want to pass, you have to kind of play defense, or you know what I'm going at right now. But right now in qualifying, Tyler Hensley has jumped to the top of the board by 3 1/1000s over Michael Fendelson.
Yeah, and then 5th through 7th is separated by 1/1000th of a second with 2 drivers tied, and then Jonathan Wall 1/1000 quicker than them. So really close times here today.
So now that we are in the round of 8, we have eliminated 4 drivers from championship contention. So the drivers remaining will still have their names highlighted in the black and orange numbers, so you can decipher those. Shane Taryn, remember he got the pole in last night's Pro Driver Clash here on PTR TV, and only driver that made it into the 31-second bracket.
Yeah, he is the second driver to do that here tonight. The first one was in practice, and now he's doing it when it counts in qualifying. Almost a full 1/10 of a second quicker than Tyler Hensley.
Obviously at Kentucky we are, as everyone knows, at the pre-paved version, so we don't have the different banking in each turns. We obviously have probably the most bumps of any track in the iRacing service, so we saw how it affected the drivers on Wednesday night. We'll see how it is in the Cup cars here tonight. Ryan Hartz, last second, getting position number 2, also getting in the 31-second bracket.
Looks like only one driver on track currently. Ronald Head is coming out to make his first lap. And
he will not be able to accomplish that, as we only have a mere seconds left in the session, so Head will have to relinquish having any kind of goods position. He will be shotgun on the field, but there is the changeover, so we will bring to you the PTR TV starting lineup here for the Hardline Racing Cup Series, sponsored by Fast Track Sims. And on tonight's poll with his lap time of 31.925 is Shane Taryn, and then Ryan Hartz to the outside of the front row. Third spot, you'll find Tyler Hensley with Michael Fenlison to the outside of him. And we have Nick Massey, Brian LaPrade, Jonathan Wall, Cole Bagunia, Thomas Bresci, and Joshua Adams, the top 10.
And Robert Kinney starting in 11th, Jacob Adams to his outside, Kyle Zimmer in 13th, Casey Shue in 14th, and then Rusty Capel, Ronald Head, and Cody Tabor rounding out the field in 17th.
That is the grid here tonight. A little bit of a smaller field, but regardless of that, a smaller field, but it'll be a competitive field nonetheless, and hopefully a very clean race here at the Kentucky Speedway.
And the stage tonight will be on lap 35 coming to 36. No caution in tonight's race as usual for the stage.
Weather conditions, nothing of interest. 78 degrees, 104 on the track, 2-mile-an-hour wind. Standard weather conditions that we will encounter will be 137 laps here around the Kentucky Speedway, equating to 205.5 miles. We asked why it wasn't a round number, and he said just because. So Kentucky 205.5. Because why not, right?
So what do you think the fuel window will be here tonight? We saw on Wednesday night it was around 40 laps, 50 laps.
Our 75
more fuel in these cars, but they got more power.
We have our 75% fuel load, and I'm going to take a stab at about 40 laps because we know tires will come into play, so I'm pretty confident that tires will probably bring drivers to pit road sooner than the fuel load, but as I always say, I have been wrong, and I usually am.
Actually, I'm going to correct myself. I believe you could go about 30 laps on Wednesday, not 50.
I think it was between.
So probably around 45 or so tonight, I would think.
And in our Pro Driver Clash last night, we saw a driver go 4 laps longer than any of us thought to try to take the stage win there. And so we said people will always pull stuff off. And just here last second, I do believe Shane Taryn will be choosing the outside for this restart.
Yeah, I guess he just thinks that
initial start, I should say.
If he can pinch Hartz down enough, he can maybe clear him.
Yeah, remember,
I guess we'll find out.
Remember, in this league, they are allowed to go at any point after the pace car pulls into pit lane. There is no green flag requirement, so we will see when Taryn decides to get this race underway as the pace car turns into pit road in just a moment's time. There it is, and we'll see when Taryn gets on the loud pedal, and there he goes, and he's off to a pretty good jump. Green flag in the air at Kentucky.
Yeah, Taryn has cleared Hartz for the lead, but the 13 of Michael Fenlison is on the outside of Hartz right now, trying to get that position. Going down into 1, it looks like Hartz will clear, but Fenlison's getting a pretty good run out too.
As on the 3rd lane, all the way to the top is 13 of Fenlison. He had a decent run, but Tyler Hensley is trying to make an advantage run down the inside. He'll dive it in turn number 3. And we see the 12 of Brian LaPrade kind of running in the middle. Is he going to go for a 3 wide off turn number 4?
He will. LaPrade going 3 wide in the middle, down the front straightaway, crossing the start-finish line.
Is anyone going to back off entering turn 1? I would imagine someone will. Nobody.
No, doesn't look like it. LaPrade's sliding up.
Hensley all the way to the yellow line. Remember, there's less banking down there, so he was not able to hold his momentum. That'll give the 12 of LaPrade the run down the back straightaway to clear into the 3rd position.
Now the 48 of Massey looking underneath the 5 of Hensley for the 5th position, I do believe, 4th position. And get out of pretty loose out of turn number 4. He will not be to the inside of Hensley.
And here comes Massey, still under fire in turn number 1. He's going to have more attention to his outside. Here comes Fenlison. Here comes the 1 of Jonathan Wall and Cole Bagunia in the 7. Exiting turn number 2. Bagunia still running the outside right behind Fenlison, as Fenlison's still trying to get to the outside of Massey.
Massey was clear there down the back straightaway, but chose to stay kind of in the middle of the track. I guess he didn't want to slide in front of Fenlison this early. And that is clear and slides in front of him.
But Bagunia, is he going to go 3 wide to the top? It looks like he's going to try to go for it. And the tri-oval didn't work, as he's still having a little bit of connection issues right now. He will, looks like, fall to the back of this pack. I wonder if that's voluntary, but Thomas Bresci in the 24, you can see at the end of this pack, you know, he always is someone to come to the front of the field later in the run. So we'll see how he progresses as the 8 of Jacob Adams dives underneath his brother Joshua in 3 and 4.
8 of Adams on the inside, side by side down the front straightaway. Oh, is that Hearts?
Nope, that's Fenlison, the 13.
Fenlison loose in the grass.
Doing some agricultural work is Fenlison. He's going to merge back on the track, and the 4 Casey Shue is going to spin in reaction to it hard into the wall for Shue, and that will throw.
No caution yet.
No caution. So
no caution. The 4 is getting back Ellen.
We're going to go back on PTR replay here and see what happened to Fenlison. I think Casey Shue lost it in reaction to.
Looks like, I'm trying to see what happened. Looks like Fenlison, Wall got loose, and then Fenlison got into Wall. And just went for a trip through the grass.
Yeah, the 1 got loose, that turned down into the 13. 13 went through the dirt and through the infield grass. And then when he merged back on the track,
had to make an evasive maneuver.
Yeah, and he just lost it. He made a hard right at a part where you can't do that. And then 21 Ronald Head also got a little bit of a side, well, kind of, you know, secondhand impact from that. But we stay green, and up front, Taryn enjoys a 4/10 lead over Ryan Hartz. It's called the Battle Tractor, and see which of them is the faster vehicle. We're going to give it to Hartz by about a 10th last time by.
Yeah, and LaPrade behind Hartz was also quicker than our leader.
We're only 7 laps into this race, 130 more to go, and I can let you know in terms of lap times, these drivers have already lost 4/10 from their best laps of the race, so tire fall off already is a thing, and it will obviously become more prevalent as the run progresses.
This track surface is really worn out, so that's really going to eat up the tires.
Wore out and bumpy, and obviously we know how powerful these machines are with wheel spin and how much load they put into the track. It really does make those tires really get their work done at the end of the day. So we'll see how pit strategy comes into play. Looks like everyone's kind of found themselves in their own little groove. We'll go back to, I believe, Bagunia. He has the closest encounter on the speedway right now. He's trying to move back through the field, closing in on Bresci, who is closing in on the 88 machine with the sponsor that I will not say out loud. No need for silence on that. I know it was a bad joke. But,
looks like everyone is all single file now.
And we'll bring up the, we'll see who is the fastest of the top 5 last time around the speedway as they cross the stripe to complete yet another lap. And it looks like the 48 of Massey was actually the fastest driver by about a half a tenth last time around the speedway. Slowest driver on that lap was the leader of the top 5.
Yeah, Massey is really starting to reel in the leaders, and he's coming up on the 12 of LaPrade first, which he has really shrunk that gap.
And Jacob Adams is trying to catch Tyler Hensley. That is for the 5th and 6th positions respectfully. As they enter turn number 1, you can kind of see a little bit of a line difference. Looks like Hensley is running a little bit higher. Adams is really trying to run in the bottom groove, which is a lot harder to do with the less banking down there, but if you can make it work, there is a little bit of time down there.
Yeah, Adams was about a half-tenth quicker than Hensley last time by, and Oakley is continuing that this lap. He's gaining quite a bit so far.
3 and 4, he was significantly lower, washes out a lot wider to keep that momentum on corner exit, and the gap is about a quarter of a second between those two drivers. Go a little bit further back into the field, and we will go back to Jonathan Wall in the 1, the 88 of Adams, and Thomas Bresci in the 24 is up to the 9th position, trying to make a run on Joshua Adams. You can see him all the way to the yellow line. Gets a little bit loose, a lot of it loose off turn number 4, but he didn't lose any momentum.
Back up to that battle with Adam between the 8 of Adams and Hensley. Adams is hooking underneath Hensley going into turn number 1 and 2. And he just cannot get the run off that he needs.
Yeah, this will bring to attention the issue these drivers will have tonight making passes at Kentucky. It is really going to be a planned maneuver. You really can't just dive it in and complete the pass. The outside guy can really hold off and give you trouble for quite some time.
Before Casey's shoe has gone behind the wall, he is done.
Other drivers that want to make note, obviously Shu was involved in that no-call incident that we had through the tri-oval, and Ronald Head still on the racetrack here. That beat and battered number 21 machine, but he is still scored on the lead lap, as well as Cody Tabor, league admin, still cruising around. He is 3 laps down, but he is turning laps around the speedway as we are about to have a battle, Evan, for 3rd position. 2nd position, rather.
Yeah, 2nd as the 12-year-old Pratt has caught Ryan Hartz, and he's trying to get around him. Run a bit with a higher line through 1 and 2, getting the run out of 2 and down the backstretch.
Down the back straight we come in the 12 machine, getting a run, and he's going to take the higher approach into turn number 3, maybe trying to get the arc and cut down and get the run off corner exit. And it looks like he did get that run, and I think Hartz is just going to yield a spot and move Brian LaPrade into P2.
And now Matthews can be all over Hartz for that 3rd position now. And now we're going to have one of the drivers in tonight's race, Casey Shue, come up in the booth with us and just talk to him for a little bit. Hey Casey, welcome to the booth.
Yeah, already.
Definitely not the start to this race that you wanted.
There's some things you can't.
And 24 Bresci in the grass.
Oh yeah, he's
stretch.
really slow. Let's go back here on PTR replay, see what happened on the 24 machine. Again, no yellow. Looked like he was in a gaggle of cars there through 3 and 4. And he just got loose with Bagunia behind him. Bagunia actually got a little bit of contact. Bresci was already gone before that happened. Kind of a harmless spin through the grass. He just lost a ton of time in the process. Back to the 14th position.
So he got a little bit of rear end damage from that.
We are starting to spread out here at Kentucky Speedway. Still have the battle going on, which is now for the, actually I think the battle is already over with, as Nick Massey has moved into 3rd. Hartz is kind of dropping back a little bit as the run progresses, as the tires begin to wear further. Remember, Hart started in 2nd, currently running in 4th, and as lap time reference, we'll pull it up this time by, see where the 3 is compared to his competitors around him, and he was about 3/10 slower that last time by.
So Casey, you were in these cars for a little bit during the race and throughout practice. How are they handling out there? Looks like everyone's struggling for grip out there.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. It's actually pretty fun. But it's on the borderline of fun slick and just the plain out annoying being slick. It was fun for sure. And I just wish I could have been out there a little bit longer to have some fun.
Here comes Joshua Adams in the 88, taking a look underneath Jonathan Wall. Nearly a little bit of contact there through the center of 1 and 2. The number 1 of Wall. Looks like he has started to lose the handle on that machine, getting a little wiggly, jiggly, and squiggly, as my saying likes to be, off turn number 2. And then turn 3, you'll see Adams take the higher line. Again, I think drivers are doing that to try to get the run off corner exit, but it didn't work for him. Actually lost time off the 4.
Yeah, Adams wasn't running much higher. Only had a right front fender, just barely out of the wake of the 1 car.
And we were talking about the groove here at Kentucky. We did expect it to move up and widen out over time, but it does take a lot of time to do that, especially with a smaller field, so I'm not overly optimistic that the groove is going to widen out substantially. I think these drivers will have to kind of suffer with a 1 groove track tonight, but I hope I am wrong.
I want to point some out here. It's lap 22 now, and Cody Taylor's still out on track. He's 3 laps down, but he's still out on track.
And it looks like he has had a little right front damage to that machine, and he is, I think he's trying to work. He's trying to work as the tire machine there, get that outside line working for these drivers. But the one thing about Taylor I do want to point out, we a lot of times see him at the back of the pack in these races, and that isn't necessarily an attest to his skill. We've seen him race in the iRacing official races, and he actually is quite competitive. He does prefer to run as an admin and run the league as an administrator behind the scenes, just kind of runs laps when he can. So we kind of poke fun at Cody, but he is a lot better of a driver than it may show on the stat sheet in the league.
Gotta have somebody to let all the steam off on, so we usually pick him.
Better than us, right?
Yeah.
As here comes Hensley underneath, well, taking a look at least, ran the lower line. Caution on the speedway. Rusty Capel in the 42 is
Hard in the wall.
Hard in the wall, and on the grass down the back straightaway. Will
looks like he got loose out of 2 and into the outside wall, then bounced off and hit the inside wall.
Yeah, he just got loose and was never able to correct it. He just kind of went between one wall and the other, it seemed like, and substantial damage to that number 42 machine. And that will bring up the caution flag and potentially end the night for the 42. We'll see if he's able to get back on the speedway. But we have assembled behind the pace car, and we will get ready for some pit stops.
And Taryn leading everyone down pit road as we expected.
Expect 4 tires and fuel from everybody. We expected pit stops potentially around lap 40 or so we're only a little bit ahead of that, about 15 laps before that, so it should have been a good enough stint for everyone to get a feel for how the cars are going to react tonight.
The stage will most likely be about 8 laps from when we get back to the green flag. We'll be on 35 coming to 36.
Of course, we reiterate that there is no caution break for the stage. We will assess the points, but we will continue under green flag conditions. Been told preliminarily that may not be a thing next season in the Hardline Racing League. Still getting confirmation on whether that's going to carry over. They may consider throwing out a caution flag.
Hertz ends up coming out second. Or third, actually, looks like. Bragg went out second.
Quick, yeah, we'll go for it. A lot of times under caution, it does kind of throw the grid off a little bit. We'll go for it. A little bit of a through the field right now, top 10. Actually, I think we only have 16 drivers on track, so we can do the whole field right now. Leading the race on lap number 25 is Shane Taryn, and then we have Brian LaPrade in P2, Ryan Hartz in 3rd, Jonathan Wall in 4th, Joshua Adams in 5th, Nick Massey in 6th, Jacob Adams is in 7th, Cole Begunia is in 8th, Tyler Hensley is in 9th, and Robert Kenny in the 10th spot. And then running out the drivers remaining on the circuit right now, we have Zimmer, Bressie, Fenelson, Ronald Head, Cody Tabor, and in the pits after that damage is Rusty Cable.
Looks like about still 14 cars on the lead lap. Cody Tabor looks like he is getting a wave around.
We did have Frank Hartley Jr. did not make the grid. He was he did sign up for the session. He did register for the race, but did not make the grid. So you will see his name, but he did not turn any laps tonight. Getting one to go this time by. Get this race underway about on lap number 28.
Ryan Harns is coming down pit road.
Really? I wonder what this could be.
Yeah, as well as Kyle Zimmer.
Possible top off.
Unless they already, if maybe they're expecting this race to go green for maybe the remainder and they have some kind of long-term strategy already planned in their head. No, he just drove through. Purposeful EOL, kind of a voluntary EOL. We don't know if there's anything administrative behind that. Maybe we can get a follow-up on what that was about, but Evan's trying to take care of that right now, but we will get ready for the restart. Doubled up, stacked up, and Taryn will take the outside groove again for this restart, leaving Brian LaPrade in 2nd, but on the inside lane.
Looks like Krutz just said he didn't feel like he had the speed and wasn't comfortable running up at the front right now and wanted to drop down to the back.
Oh, very interesting call. We saw him running in the top 5, but he will try to get the feel of that car and run through the field. So Evan, take it away for the restart.
Pace car getting ready to pull down on the pit road. Shane Tarrant taking the outside once again. As the pace car is now on pit road, waiting for Tarrant to get back on the throttle, and he does. We're back underway here at Kentucky.
Whoa, a little bit of wiggle there. The 88 of Adams, Joshua Adams. I don't know if you got a little wheel spin or what have you, but that was a little bit of a close call. Jacob Adams is in a near 3 wide with Hensley and Massey right now.
Begunia right behind him, blinking up quite a bit. It looks like, oh, Massey going around. Maybe he got really loose out of turn number 2. Nice job to hang on to that.
Also a battle for the lead. LaPrade took a look in 1 and 2, was side by side with Taryn on the inside lane, but eventually Taryn got the run on the outside and has cleared. But here comes Joshua Adams taking a stab underneath the wall for the 3rd spot. And we have Thomas Bressie, I believe, in the wall. He wasn't in the wall. He lost a lot of time off of 4.
Looks like he got loose and did go up into the wall. Pretty hard to hit.
Yeah, so the 24 is dropping back. I don't know if there's any kind of suspension damage, but we'll find that out with his pace as the run carries on. But the 8 machine of Jacob Adams. And right now, Wall is in the middle of the Adams sandwich right now. And a little bit of contact maybe from Bressie. I mean, not Bressie, Hensley. As Hensley was trying to get by Jacob Adams, kind of had to check up there for him as he was running slower. Now Begunia is going to go to the outside of Tyler Hensley.
Begunia not quite clear yet out of turn number 2. Get a pretty good run down the backstretch there side by side. It looks like Begunia will clear. Now Massey looking to the outside of Hensley.
As you said, Evan, you want to run by yourself on the bottom of the racetrack, but when you're making passes, you want to run on the outside. It's kind of a very interesting and unique concept at Kentucky, but that is how it is. So Cole Begunia is on the outside. He manages to clear Hensley, move into the 6th position, and see what he can do with Jacob Adams.
Back up front, Pratt is still trying to get underneath Shane Tarrant for the lead, and then he's got the 80 to back. Joshua Adams right behind him.
A wiggle.
Pratt looking to the inside.
That was a wiggle from Taryn off turn number 2. That gives a little bit of momentum and the door open for LaPrade on the inside through 3 and 4. And let's see if the run carries for Shane Taryn. Nearly some contact, a little bit of a wiggle from LaPrade. He loses the momentum, pulls back in line, but Joshua Adams is right here to pounce.
So like LaPrade driving in a little bit deeper than Taryn into turn 1. Adams right to the back bumper of LaPrade for the second position. Kind of turn number 2, both drivers can a little bit loose, losing ground to Taryn.
Now we have to wonder, are any of these drivers using their stuff up too much, trying to get the lead, trying to make passes? Remember, if this does go green and we get a green flag run, you're going to need those tires on you. See out of the corner of the picture, Jacob Adams, big wiggle off turn 4.
Ryan Hart's trying to get around the 13 of Michael Finlayson for the 9th position. Hart's running a little bit higher through 1 and 2, but losing a little bit of ground to Finlayson.
Remember, Finlayson had his brass excursion on the front stretch earlier in the race, trying to still recover from that. He was in the top 5. Big wiggle from Hart's there behind him in the 10th position. Remember, Hart's dropped to the back, said he wasn't comfortable with the car and his pace right now, and maybe he really is struggling.
He started second, so I don't really know if he just doesn't feel like he has the long run pace, but there's a battle for the lead as LaPrade is underneath Taryn, coming out of turn number 4.
And we know how difficult that inside groove is, and looks like LaPrade, I think he got it at the stripe, but can Taryn hold off on the outside?
It was tied at the stripe. They were dead even.
And it gave it to Taryn on the watch, so here we come through 3 and 4. I think the 12 washed up a little bit, pushed Taryn up the track, and that kept them nose to nose, dead even down the back straightaway as we head through 3 and 4. And I think he's going to clear, but watch out for a crossover.
LaPrade clears out of turn number 4, but Taryn trying to do a crossover. He's back to the inside of LaPrade for the lead. LaPrade trying to pinch him down as much as he can.
Whoa.
Taryn really loose. And Brian LaPrade did win that stage. So that's what they were battling so hard for there at the end.
And Taryn's not giving up. He's digging on that inside groove as he closes right to the back bumper of LaPrade down the back straightaway. And let's see if he can make anything happen in turn number 3. Nearly to the back bumper he gets. He does back off, and here comes Joshua Adams.
Adams Adams looking to the outside of Taryn out of turn number 4. Taryn really loose once again. Down the front straightaway and through the tri-oval. Losing a little time to LaPrade now.
On board here just for a second and just hear how Taryn's having to pedal that throttle. They are really slow through the center of the turn in relative terms. Obviously there is not much grip remaining in those tires and on this Kentucky Speedway. Here he looks.
Taryn looking to the inside once again out of 4. LaPrade getting a little bit loose, but still pulling away.
And so it seems that Taryn nearly into the wall there as he was trying to arc in turn 1. That was even close, but looks like he really is getting through 1 and 2 a lot better than LaPrade. But I think LaPrade is getting through 3 and 4 just a little bit better and washing it out.
But Taryn driving in really deep into 3, just about to the left for a quarter panel of LaPrade. Out of 4, he's running a little bit lower. So like LaPrade's really loose out of 4. All these drivers are getting really loose.
Even with that wiggle, LaPrade did gain about a car length advantage. You can see Taryn really driving it in, but we have to go back to the old racing adage. It's better to go easy in and hard off. A lot of time when you drive it in deep into the turn, you're going to compromise your corner exit speed.
LaPrade loose through the center of 3 and 4. It's Joshua Adams trying to get to the back bumper. LaPrade really loose.
It was
Taryn to that side, down the front straightaway, going to be side by side at the line.
Did Taryn get in the wall?
Loose. No, he
nearly did. But on the outside, he's going to go around the outside here, trying to make that third lane work. Is Taryn going to be able to make it happen? LaPrade's not going to be able to shut the door. They'll be side by side for the lead down the back straightaway.
Taryn did get into the wall on the front stretch, but that didn't hurt him as he is still on the outside of LaPrade going into 3 and 4. Taryn giving no room to LaPrade. LaPrade getting really loose, a little bit of contact. Taryn will clear.
Door to door. I don't know if they made contact, but you couldn't fit a piece of paper in between them if they didn't. But Taryn will take the run on the outside, regain the lead, and Joshua Adams still just lurking here in third. And look who we brought into it. Jonathan Walton, the one, is joining the party here through all this battling.
Prad got off turn number 2 really well. Got right to the back bumper of Taryn, but look under him. Adams driving really deep, right to the back bumper of Prad. Got a little bit loose.
And he almost had the prime position. He almost got to the outside off 4, but he wasn't able to complete it. LaPrade kind of shut the door and also got the run. Great racing here at Kentucky, and then we also have a little bit of battle going on between Jacob Adams and Bagunia off of turn number 2.
Joshua Adams got really loose out of 2. He's going to get that spot up to Jonathan Wall. So Adams falling back to 4th. Wall really high on the track there off turn number 3 and 4. Huge wiggle from Joshua Adams, and he's still losing it in the grass. He's back on the apron now.
His brother passes him, and Josh, and here comes Fenlison as he finally gets back up to speed, drops to the 6th position. Kentucky's not going to have to hire a landscape crew with all the people in the grass here tonight, but battle for lead back on. LaPrade has caught the 38 again, and looks like he may be faster at the moment, has to find a way by.
Pride looking underneath Taryn just a little bit down the front stretch, didn't have enough run to get to his quarter panel. But he is close. He's still looking underneath, and we'll see if he dives it into turn number 1. No, he's backing off, trying to get around off the corner.
Both of them riding identical lines through turns number 1 and 2, but off corner exit. I think the 12 still has the momentum. He just has to plan a move and try to find a way by as we have a battle going on. Fenlison and Adams.
Fenlison clears Joshua Adams for the 6th position, actually.
88 is going to get the run on the outside and try to gain some momentum back, and you can see behind this Nick Massey. Remember, Massey was a lot higher in the field earlier in the race. He's dropped back to just barely the end of the top 10 as Tyler Hensley gets by. And here comes Ryan Hartz. Remember, he dropped back earlier.
Yeah, Hartz is just kind of stayed in this 10th position. Now Taryn pulling out a little bit from LaPrade. He's now got a 14th of a second lead over that 12 machine.
Yep, the battle still goes on between Bagunia and Jacob Adams. There was a little bit of side-by-side off turn number 4, but Bagunia was able to pull away and get a little bit of an advantage. But you can see Jacob, excuse me, running all the way to the inside, trying to gain some time, but Bagunia kind of stole his line, did the same thing.
Jonathan Wall getting a little bit loose out of turn 2. That gave a run to Bagunia down the backstretch into turn number 3 now. These drivers are going to come upon some lap traffic here soon. The 42 of Rusty Capel.
Capel was involved in a huge impact, and Cole Bagunia looked to the outside. Huge wiggle. Stays in line, but here comes Jacob Adams to the inside of Bagunia, trying to take advantage of the wiggle by Bagunia. He's going to go all the way to the inside in turn number 1 and 2. Get a little bit of an advantage. It's going to be really tight quarter side by side off turn number 2, but like two trailer park girls, Cole Bagunia went around the outside and was able to hold on to the lead.
Did he go around the outside, or since he already had the position, did he stay around the outside?
I've been trying to work that in chat for the longest time, so everyone's been asking for it, so I had to find a way to say it.
One car in the grass.
That's Robert Kenny, and he has some serious front-end damage to that machine. Let's try to see what happened to him.
Looks like he got by himself. Loose out of 4.
And he got
overcorrected.
And that was, if I was, and I can't blame him because it's hard in the moment to think. If I was him, I would have just kept looping it to the left and spun through the grass. He would have avoided the damage, but he tried saving it, and then it bit and just hooked him right into the outside wall, but we stay green.
So he gets a corner around the 42 of Capel now. He's staying to the bottom of it, letting everyone go to the outside.
As
Jacob Adams looking underneath Cole Baguni. They were 3 wide just for a second. They were 42 of Capel.
Yeah, he was trying to take advantage of the situation, but as we come off turn number 2, Jacob got loose, couldn't hold the position on the inside, falls back into line behind Bagunia, loses about 4 or 5 car lengths in the process.
They've gone 24 laps, so probably about 15 more until we start seeing them come down pit road.
That would be my guess, Evan. Right now we have dropped, I'll tell you, Shane Tarrant's fastest lap of the race is a 32.13. His last time around was a 33.8, so that is 1.7 seconds slower is the tire drop off here. So if you're thinking of a long-term race strategy, you have to plan that and do some quick math on the fly, figure out when you should pit, if we need to do 2 stops, 3. I mean, we haven't even tried doing our horrible pit strategy guesses yet, but
this should be a 1-stop race from, or 2 more stops. So 1 stop after they make their stop in 15 laps, I would think.
Because if you pit on lap 65, you're going to go to about 95, and that'll give you 40 laps to the end. Might be a little close, but I would assume that would be good. I can't see splitting that into 3. I think that would be a significant loss of position to do that, as Pratt has really dropped off of Tarrant here as the run goes on.
And Jacob Adams has lost connection to the server.
Oh no! He was battling very hard up there with Fenless and Bagunia, the likes of them. That's a shame. Hopefully he can get back in, but even if he does, he will be multiple laps down. But Thomas Bressi, remember, he went through the grass, had a little bit of contact, get a huge wiggle off to there as well. He is now in 10th, trying to make a move on. Actually, Bressi is ahead of. I thought he was trying to make a move on number 10. Remember, the 10 was just involved in incident, is off the lead lap, so Bressi is kind of in his own little world right now.
Cole Bagunia and Jonathan Wall battling hard for the 4th position. Bagunia on the inside, Wall on the outside of turn number 2. Looks like Bagunia's getting a little bit better of a run down at the bottom. And down the back stretch, still side by side going to turn number 3.
And then Fenless in there to pounce. Something happens. Wiggle on corner entry for Bagunia. That's going to give the one little bit of advantage he needs on the outside, give him that momentum. The 7 still bobbing and weaving off turn number 4. And that cost him the momentum, and let the 1 hold the position for now. Caution on the speedway. The number 10 machine.
Front stretch.
Robert Kenny in the tri-oval grass.
It's like he got loose all by himself once again, right in front of Thomas Bressi.
Yeah, I'm just talking about this. Bressi is up for Bressi on the lead lap. Kenny is no longer after his impact as they navigate through turns 3 and 4.
Kenny took your advice this time. He just stayed in the throttle and
well, and Bressi had we gotta go check that out from Bressi's perspective. But yeah, there's so much grass here in the tri-oval that if you just loop it down there, there's more often than not, you're just gonna spin through the grass, carry on. If you try to save it, you're gonna have a big piece of concrete that is not gonna favor your car very well. See the close call Bressi had there off turn number 4. But we carry on with the second caution of the race here on lap number 55.
So after this pit stop, can they do 1 more?
All right, so let's do some horrible estimations. We're guessing, of course, because we have no validation.
They can go another 40 laps, which would be
95. That's 42 from there. So you figure with cautions, that would put you right on the cusp. And again, that's that saying that our guess of 40 laps is correct. So,
which it's probably not.
Probably not, but yeah, I don't think it could be too far off. But here they come down pit lane.
I think they can do it on 1 more stop after this.
We will find that out the hard way and see if any cautions come out and maybe interrupt our strategy or throw anything off. But for the time being, everyone's on pit road and we assume 4 tires and fuel for the field. While we are under caution right now, we'll take this opportunity to step away just for a minute and go to a brief side-by-side commercial break. We'll be right back with you for the restart. Please stay with us.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fast Track Sims Cup Series, round of 8 in the playoffs, or chase, whatever it's called. Shane Tarrant is currently leading. I believe he has led on every single start and restart, and once again taking the outside.
Yes, he is. He's kind of had that down to a science. Last time by, it didn't really work as well for him, but we'll see what kind of run Fenlison can hold on the inside lane for this restart as we wait for the pace car to pull into pit lane. Pace car is in. We wait for the green flag or Tarrant and get on the loud pedal. He gets on the loud pedal first and gets to a huge jump here. Green flag back in the air at Kentucky.
Finlayson did not get a good restart at all, and now the 7 Begunia all over the back bumper of Finlayson going into turn number 1. Begunia sliding up through the center is now the 12 LaPrade looking to his outside.
Begunia thought LaPrade, if I can get names right, thought he was going to have a run there to the outside of Begunia, was not able to hold it. As here comes Tyler Hensley with a power move underneath Jonathan Wall in 3 and 4, all the way down to the yellow line. That's going to open the door for Joshua Adams. Got the door shut on him. Here he goes to the inside crossover move.
Going into turn number 1, 80 of Adams. Looks like he will clear Hensley. Hensley driving in deep into turn 1. Now it looks like Adams, no, not quite clear yet. Now he is. A little side of front 5 of Hensley.
And Hartz is maybe getting some confidence back, trying to make some moves, getting through the field here. He's going to dive underneath Hensley in turn number 3. Kind of a yo-yo race for Hensley. He started up in third position, was kind of running up front for a little bit, now has dropped back to the latter end of the top 10. Thomas Baresi in the mix, trying to close in on these guys, gain some spots in the 9th position.
Looks like Krutz is just about clear of Hensley. He looks like he will slide up out of turn number 2. And so put Hartz in the 7th position now.
2 DC Solar machines, Jonathan Wall and Briar LaPrade running in 4th and 5th, but here comes Joshua Adams to try to shake that up. He is to the inside of Wall off of turn number 4.
Looks like Wall will clear at the line, just barely. Going into turn number 1, Adams still trying to get underneath him, but Wall turning really deep into 1 and 2, sliding up now.
We're gonna have a battle for the lead, Evan, off turn number 2. Fenlison got a really good run through the center of 1 and 2, carried the momentum down the back straightaway, took a look to the inside, nothing doing, but here he comes, and Cole Bagunia to the back bumper as well, top 3 under a blanket.
Fenlison getting a really good run out of 4, looking underneath Taryn for the lead. Not quite to the quarter panel yet. At the start-finish line, still right behind him.
During turn number 1, Bagunia took a little bit of a more aggressive entry into the turn, had to back off to obviously accommodate. And here comes Fenlison. He's able to roll the bottom just a little bit better, and that gives him the run off corner exit. But Bagunia had the same thing happen to him, and also here comes LaPrade.
Taryn sliding up on the exit of 4, and Fenlison to the inside. They're side by side down the front stretch.
Taryn nearly into a wall.
Has the run.
Taryn using all the bit of real estate available off turn number 4. Gets a little bit loose, but holds his momentum and is still carrying it around the outside groove. Washes up the track is Fenlison.
Fenlison still getting a pretty good run out of 2, but Taryn will clear another set of Bagunia on Fenlison's outside. And Bagunia is blinking a little bit. Contact into turn number 3.
Now LaPrade is going to try to take advantage, drives to the inside, nothing new in there, but everyone will carry on in the same order for the time being. Remember Joshua Adams at the end of this pack trying to take advantage. A little bit of contact. Bagunia's in the wall. Huge impact. Tyler Hensley involved. Caution on the speedway.
That's retaliation gone wrong.
Not the first time we've seen that, but let's get a look on replay before we make any harsh calls. We're exiting turn number 4 here. Bagunia has a really good run on Fenlison. And he gets, I mean, he just, do we call that a Kentucky bump draft?
He wrecked himself.
On board here with Fenlison as we exit turn number 4. You can see how much better of a run Bagunia got, but he was essentially just taking the rear wheels off the 13, putting him in the air, and when the 13 got loose, that ended up wrecking him in reaction to it. And then we had Tyler Hensley kind of be the innocent bystander behind that. Not sure if there was anything that happened to maybe instigate a little impatience or anger in the 7, but I don't know why he didn't take that run to the outside instead of just dooring him the bumper.
It's because going into 3 with the lap before, they made a little bit of contact, which looks like Bagunia, looks like he might have just came down on a little bit, made a little bit of net coat because Bagunia was blinking there.
But regardless of that, everyone, I don't know how that's going to carry on with damage if they can get back in the show, but we have leaders again on pit lane here, taking lap number 67.
And now we know for sure they will have, it will be a one-stop race if they can make it. One more stop from here.
Yes, it certainly will, because at this point, even if they go about 30-35 laps, that'll put them into a window where there's less than 40 to go. So the only way that anything will happen to shake that up is if we have another caution, which is always in the realm of possibility. Exiting the pits, looks like Taryn, using the number 1 pit box to his advantage, will pit pits in the spot that he entered the pits. So obviously what he needs, he has led the majority of the laps tonight. 61 of the 67 laps on the speedway he has led. Taryn's on pretty much a hot streak recently. He won, if I remember correctly, he won Wednesday night's race. Could have been wrong.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Trying to sweep the week here at Kentucky.
He also got the pole last night in our PTR TV Pro Driver Clash and was very competitive in that in the top 3 until got caught up in some kind of incident. But Terrence seems to have the ball rolling at the right time of the season as we are in the championship playoff slash chase slash what have you. But after this, we will be, I believe it to be 3 more weeks left in the season. The Cup Series round winds down on March 2nd. Obviously, we will end up with the championship at Homestead. That will be the championship 3, I believe. We are on precaution. Oh, go ahead, Evan.
Jacob Adams is back out on track. He is 4 laps down now. Looks like he is getting one of those back under this caution.
That'll put him on the same lap as Rusty Capel, so that would give him the opportunity to gain at least 1 more spot.
Yeah, and Rusty Capel is still on pit road.
Someone that I do want to give a shout out to while we have the moment, there is, and he may punch me for doing this, but if he does, sorry. We do have a silent partner here on PTR TV, stays behind the scenes helping with find action that we didn't catch, help out with any kind of decisions, administrative calls, technical
He said he's going to kill you, Corey.
He is. We call him Silent Joe here, so he doesn't want to be on the broadcast yet live in the air, but does do a lot behind the scenes for us, so I want to give a live shout out on air to Silent Joe, as we like to call him. You can applaud Joe by being silent, because that's what he's Silent Joe. Think of
we're gonna have a moment of silence for Silent Joe.
Yeah, we could think of might be a little young for some people, but if there was a sitcom on TV, Home Improvement, and there was kind of Wilson across the fence there, and didn't make his face known, but had a presence. So, and this all it. Sorry, Joe. We love you. Thank you.
He said thanks.
I ask him every single night. He is going to do a Joe's Keys to the Race segment. Give him his first bit on air. He's going to get it done eventually. He's working himself up to it, but it's going to happen. Put it the hashtag in chat.
Hashtag make Silent Joe not silent.
It's a pretty long hashtag. We might have to work on that. But the restart is soon amongst us right here. Taryn, not much of a surprise, takes the outside lane. Brian LaPrade to the inside. LaPrade has been one of the ones to really be able to stay with him and challenge him on these initial restarts. So, yes, I said on these initial restarts. So we'll see if that carries on this time by. Pace car will again take the hard left into pit lane and on the
Brad got a really good start there. He's gonna
a really good start.
Yeah, he's not gonna be on the inside of Taryn, but he's gonna be right on his back bumper going into turn number 1. And battle for the third going on right now as LaPrade is all over the back bumper of Taryn through the center 1 and 2.
And also Jonathan Wall underneath Joshua Adams through 1 and 2 rather, trying to gain the 3rd position, but LaPrade is going to have the battle for the lead soon in the windshield right now. Taryn's going to have to keep on it because he's going to have a extreme competition with that number 12, but behind him, Jonathan Wall and Jacob Adams, and then we have the 3. Ryan Hartz has got himself back into it. Obviously, he's feeling better about that car.
And then Massey and Finlayson battling right behind them. Massey caught up in that last wreck, a little bit of damage from that, but he's starting to work his way back to the front.
Back to the front. Gotta love the oxymoron on that one.
Oh, the one of Jonathan Wall around
no.
turn 3 and 4. Joshua Adams in the wall.
Caution yet again.
Looks like he had help.
We
on the replay.
Find that out together as we are navigating through turn number 2 and Josh Adams on the inside, and open the blip cam here, try to get a better view of it, and yeah, he turned him into I don't think there was any intent on that or malice, but he did indeed get into the left rear quarter panel there and just turned him, and I think he kind of got a little bit of damage from that himself, just barely grazing the outside retaining wall there, but we are behind the attention of the iRacing.com pace car yet again. This will make the 4th caution of the race here on lap number 72. I don't know if anybody will make a pit stop here, as we still have, we've only run a couple laps since the last pit stop.
But with how important tires are, I think everyone will come down to tires. At least most of the field will. There'll probably be a few staying out. Like everyone actually coming down pit road. A few lap cars trying to get their laps back. Only driver to stay out on the track that is on the lead lap is Cole Begunia. And his pretty heavily damaged 7 machine.
He may have been trying to get a bonus point, I would imagine the situation to be. There is an Easter egg on the ticker right now.
I'm gonna go try and find it.
It's not really too hidden. Gotta have a little fun with these broadcasts.
Yeah, I found an Easter egg.
It's not even Easter yet, what do you know? Jacob Adams in the 8. Remember, after his connectivity issues, he will take yet another wave around. This will make him 2 laps down. And remember, he was a very quick driver.
We have a car around on the front stretch? Jonathan Wall just wrecked Joshua Adams under caution.
Well then,
Jonathan Wall just came full speed and nailed Adams.
I don't know if we really want to see this on replay, but we will try to find
And Wall has parked it himself. And if I was a league official, I would park him for the rest of the season. That's uncalled for.
Give us, I'm trying to go back on the replay here and find it. If you could tell me where it was on the track, Evan.
It was on the front stretch.
Oh my
Jonathan
goodness.
Wall just came full speed.
That is just absolutely uncalled for. It is an embarrassment to the league and the simulator, to be honest with you. There's just absolutely nothing that can I mean, we've all been mad, we've all been frustrated, we've all had our occurrences, we've had our bad days, but there's nothing that justifies that. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry.
In my opinion, he needs at least to be parked for the rest of the season, if not for the remainder of, I guess, his time in the league.
iRacing will not. iRacing obviously is very strict on their policies with conduct and code, but they do not police league races in the same sense as the official, so there's nothing that iRacing can do for that situation, so that will be something that the league will obviously have to go over. But taking a driver out of the playoffs, out of mainly just whatever the situation is, like I said, we absolutely uncalled for. But regardless of that, we are prepared for yet another restart. Tearing to the outside, LaPrade to the inside. Evan, take it away.
Coming through turns number 3 and 4. Gonna be lap 76 at the line. So what is it, about 60 to go? Somewhere around there, 62.
On those lines.
Pace car ready to pull down on the pit road, 30 to chain turn leading the field. And pace car's on pit road, waiting on Taryn to get on the throttle. And he's waiting a long time here. He is on the throttle. He did not get going.
And that was a huge stack up that caused some contact with Hensley and Ryan Hart, but it will be to the benefit of Brian LaPrade as he takes the lead at this point.
Michael Finlayson right behind him.
Finlayson in second, Massey up to third, Taryn all the way back to fourth. Ryan Hart's in the top five, and look who's going for the top five position. Thomas Bressi is getting himself into the mix.
Michael Finlayson looking underneath. LaPrade getting really loose out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Now the 48 of Nick Massey looking inside of Finlayson going into turn number 1.
Yeah, Massey's going to try to make that inside work. Is Taryn going to go for a 3 wide in the middle? I do believe the answer to that question is yes. Massey all the way to the yellow line rather. 3 wide's not going to work. Taryn's going to go and try to push Massey by Finlayson.
Massey getting a little bit loose entering the corner. He's getting a pretty good run out of it. Looks like he's going to clear Finlayson. Shane Taryn looking underneath him, getting pretty loose out of turn number 4 down the front stretch.
Oh!
Massey cutting him off.
Thought that was going to be catastrophic, but there was enough space to play with right there. Taryn still to the inside of Massey in turn number 1 and 2. Massey gets the run around the outside, is able to actually not clear at all. He lost it through the center. That's going to give Taryn the edge he needs down the back straightaway.
Taryn tried to do a slide job through 1 and 2, now 3 and 4. He will clear, sliding up in front of Massey. Putting out turn number 4, Taryn has his eyes set on that 12 of LaPrade. And LaPrade is the only driver that's been able to hang with Taryn.
Yeah, but Massey's not done with Taryn yet. He is right on the back bumper through the tri-oval, but he will back off accommodatingly in turn number 1. And that will give Finlayson a little bit of a run to the outside. And Ryan Hartz, I'll tell you, Ryan Hartz was not comfortable earlier in the race, but he's definitely up on the wheel here as the race is almost over.
Yeah, he's trying to get around the 13 of Finlayson for the 4th position. And Finlayson's all over the back bumper of Massey.
And Massey's all over the bumper of Taryn. LaPrade up to about a 4/10 second lead while all this is going on, but hard to tell now that Taryn doesn't have the clean air and he's not in control of the situation. I think he's just about even with these guys now.
We'll see maybe if he's saving a little bit of tire or just waiting 5-10 laps until he pushes and tries to get it around LaPrade. So one way for us to find out. He's driving in really deep into turn 3. He closed in 2/10.
Yeah, he sailed it in there. The question is, can he hold it off corner exit? And the answer to that question was yes. He did gain a significant amount of time.
Only 2/10 of a second off the back bumper of LaPrade now. And driving in pretty deep into 1 and 2. He's right on the back bumper of LaPrade.
Now is this, you think, is this going to compromise him later in the run as hard as he's driving in? Is this going to be wearing his tires out faster than everybody else?
Usually it does, but he's been doing this most of the race, driving in really deep, and it hasn't seemed to hurt him too much. As now he's sliding up the track. Massey looking underneath him for the 2nd position.
So I say, did he slide up the track or did he intentionally bring it up there? I'm going to assume he slid because he did not really gain any time out of it, but Massey was able to close in just a little bit, and also did Finlayson. Ryan Hart's tagging along at the end of this. Bressi has kind of dropped off the back of Ryan Hart's just by a little bit, but still Taryn in the 2nd position has closed to the bumper of LaPrade. We have a battle for the lead.
Yeah, coming through the front stretch now. Shane Taryn not gaining much on LaPrade. He's driving in deep into turn 1. Closed in about a 10th or so to the center 1 and 2.
To see everyone squirrely over the bumps as they exit turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Everyone is loose, but you can see the power surge on entry that 38 does do, and he's able to hold it to the inside of the track as LaPrade kind of washes up just a little bit, but didn't look like either of them gained or lost anything.
Looks like both these drivers staying pretty even, which they have been through this entire race. Taryn still driving in really deep into the corners. He's once again right on the back bumper of LaPrade after number 2. And Taryn is now starting to pull away from Massey just a little bit.
And enter in turn number 3. Terrence sailed it in there, nearly got into the back bumper of LaPrade, and that cost him a significant amount of time. Nearly got into the wall off of turn number 4. Go back on replay and try to, I want to watch that because that was a significant dive into turn number 3. See on replay, we're down the back straightaway. Look at Terrence surge into 3. Was he going for something there?
I don't think he was. Him and LaPrade have raced each other really clean so far this entire race.
Yeah, that was just, I don't know if LaPrade took it in slow, Terrence missed his marks or what have you, but that was nearly another wreck there, but we luckily did not have that. But he is gaining back all the time he lost, and he's within a quarter of a second.
Once again, sailing it into turn 3, almost to the inside of LaPrade, through turn 3 and 4, knocking out of 4, losing a little bit of time, but he still gained.
Yeah, ultimately, like you were saying, Evan, he's been doing that all race. Typically, if a driver does that, they can't hold the momentum off corner exit. It's not even in the physics to be able to do that. But for some reason, he's been able to do it, at least on the short term.
Shane Tarrant defying physics.
It really is, because if you drive it that deep into corner entry, you shouldn't, as he does it again, you shouldn't be able to exit the turns that well by driving in that deep, but he's doing it.
Yeah, he got the exact same run that LaPrade did, but he gained 2 car lengths on entry.
Yeah, so, I mean, if this does go green for any amount of time, I'll be curious if he's able to sustain that, but you can see LaPrade all the way up to the 3rd groove here. That opens the door for Tarrant in turn number 2, but closes to the bumper. Let's see if he does that power dive again.
They'll be in their window in here about 5 to 10 laps. They could pit and make it.
I would assume.
So will we see short pitting?
I can't imagine that, Evan, because you'd be going, I don't think these guys want to go 50 laps right now, or nearly that much. I would assume that if this does carry green, we'll probably go to about maybe 105 to 110. Maybe between 100 and 110, something in that ballpark. That's my guess. Art's big wiggle off turn number 2, all the way to the lower end of the back straightaway there, and saving it, but he did do just that. The 10 drivers are being scored on the lead lap right now. We have Brian LaPrade, Shane Tarrant, Nick Massey, Michael Fenlison, Ryan Hartz, Thomas Bressie, Tyler Hensley, Robert Kenny, Joshua Adams, and Cole Bagunia, the last one on the lead lap right now. 3 laps down in 11th is Joshua Adams, and 3 laps down in 12th is Rusty Capel.
Tarrant once again was right on the left rear quarter panel of LaPrade through the center of 1 and 2. And once again through 3 and 4 right on the left rear quarter panel.
On board with Tarrant here as we take lap number 90 in the books, 91 now on the board. You can see how he enters turn number 1, 185 miles an hour down the front straightaway. Takes it all the way to the inside, down to 138 miles an hour in the center of 1 and 2. Slowly on the throttle as we get down the back straightaway. Let's see what he gets up to for speed. Gets up to about 180 or so. Then goes right to the bottom hash mark on lane number 2. Down to about 141 miles an hour. It's here tiptoeing on the throttle. Big wiggle.
LaPrade really loose.
That is a lap around Kentucky for the battle for the lead on old tires.
Tarrant are really closing, and he is now looking underneath LaPrade coming out of turn number 2. He's right on the left rear quarter panel. LaPrade getting momentum from the outside, but getting loose. Tarrant going to pull back in line.
Yes, he is, and I think LaPrade is in the position where he can kind of play defense right now. Well, he most certainly can play defense right now. It's going to really make a mistake. At this point, I can see a mistake happening because there was a big wiggle off turn number 4, and Tarrant nearly got to the right rear quarter panel, which would have been the death sentence for LaPrade, but he was able to gain control and block that from happening.
Taryn right on the back bumper of Pratt through 3 and 4.
And this may be the run he needs. He held him. He's right to the back bumper, getting the 12 loose. I don't think there was any contact, but he definitely has that 12 looking in the mirror. Into turn number 1, trying to take a lane to the high side, trying to get a run up there. Not going to happen. Let's see if he can cut low off turn number 2.
Taryn is trying to cut low out of the corner, but it really just stayed even out too.
Massey about 3/4 of a second behind these drivers as we enter turn number 3 and 4. Lap number 94 being completed this time by LaPrade is hanging on to the lead. Big wiggle
Pratt
off of
really
4
loose.
into the wall.
Taryn well clear.
He kicked up some sparks, but he didn't lose too much time, but he did lose the lead. And let's see if he's able to regroup and maybe try to prowl the 38 and get it back.
Taryn has been quite a bit quicker, and it looks like he is caution.
Tyler Hensley, I believe.
Rusty Capel.
Hensley is in the pits regardless, so. But Rusty
Capel got
is...
to the wall and then just spun out in the backstretch. That was the reason for the caution.
Well, what happened to Tyler Hensley?
Was he just making his pit stop? Well, he's 3 laps down.
He's been in the pits for about 2.5 minutes right now. We've completely missed this with the battle for the lead, but you saw Capel get to the wall and
got loose down on the apron through the tri-oval and went up into the outside of the wall. Hensley did, but he kept it straight after he hit the wall and did not bring out the caution.
well then.
So everyone will come down pit road now, and I believe they're not going to have to pit for fuel again. They'll pit for tires if a caution comes out, but they will be good on fuel.
Try. Forgive me if I'm still working on betas, working on the feature I don't know too well. Trying to see what did happen to Hensley while we have the quick opportunity to do so. You said it was off of turn number 4, Evan?
Yeah, through the tri-oval.
Alright, so let's see if I
Lap 90.
I used my fancy feature correctly here. So he's going through 3 and 4 right now. And yeah, he went all the way to the apron. Yep, he went on the apron and got loose while merging back onto the track and then hard contact into the wall. But pit stops underway. And I can't imagine much variance occurring between these drivers. I expect 4 tires and fuel, of course. This should be the last required stop of the race. And LaPrade will carry out first. Massey very close for second, but Taryn will hang on to it. We'll take this caution to take the last side-by-side break of the race, so stay with us. We'll be back with you for the restart.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to, sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. It's all the
And we're back here on PTR TV as we approach lap number 100 here in the Fast Track Champs Cup Series round of 8, race number 1. Brian LaPrade is your leader. Shane Tarrant has dominated the majority of the race, but he will start on the inside, but that will be position number 2. Evan, take it away for the restart.
Coming through turn number 3 and 4 now, waiting for the pace car to pull on the pit road. When it does, it'll hand the control of the field over to Brian LaPrade. Pace car pulling down onto pit road now, waiting on LaPrade. He's on the throttle. We are back underway here at Kentucky.
Big jump by the number 12 machine. He gets out to about a 5 or 6 car length advantage side by side with Massey and the 13 of Fenlison as Tarrant's trying to get going, but here comes Fenlison looking to the outside.
Yeah, LaPrade got a really good jump over Tarrant, about a half second. But now, we saw before, kind of towards, after about 10 laps, Tarrant was a lot faster than LaPrade. So we'll see if maybe Breyer will save a little bit.
Ryan Hartz, remember he dropped back. He's now headed into the 4th position on the outside of Massey off turn number 4. If he can hold that momentum, he will move into 4th. He does do just that. So move the 3 up into the 4th position, see if he can close in on the 13 of Fenlison.
And Hartz is right on the back bumper of Finlayson, now losing a little bit through the center of 1 and 2, but Tarrant is all over the back bumper of LaPrade for the lead.
Massey gained a bunch of time off of Hartz, but back to the lead as Evan was referring to. Here comes Tarrant with the power dive into 3 that he is known for. He's going to get right to the back bumper, try to run a little bit lower, see if he can get down low and side by side down the front straightaway.
Tarrant got a little bit loose out of 4 and lost his momentum. LaPrade pulling him down the front straightaway. Finlayson right behind. Going into 1, Tarrant still diving it in, into the corner, right on the left rear quarter panel of LaPrade. Now turn number 2 down the back trail. Once again, LaPrade getting a run.
Yeah, all of this is obviously making LaPrade stare in the mirror. He must be probably mirror driving more than he is windshield driving, so I wonder if he is going to make a mistake with the pressure he is receiving right now. But 35 laps to go in the race. We may have had the last caution. These guys may go to the end of the race on this fuel load, so I almost wonder if you want to take it easy, knowing it may be a long run.
Well, somebody should tell Shane Tarrant that, because he is not taking it easy at all. He's all the way back bumper of LaPrade trying to get by him.
Yeah, because the worst thing that could happen is if you just burn your tires off now, maybe lead the race, get the lead or what have you, and then with 10 laps to go, you have nothing left to play with and everyone gets by you. You have to account for that, but for the time being, these guys are 100% trying to get the positions that they can.
Tarrant, it looks like he's starting to back up his corners a little bit. I don't know if he's trying to save tire, but he's getting a way better run off the corner now.
I told you earlier, he had his physics-defying dive bombs into turn number 3, and there goes one again. He gets to the inside, and obviously he's not going to be able to make that work. The momentum on the outside will carry along for LaPrade to hold on. You just can't sustain that. You can sometimes use it for a couple laps with that dive bomb, but it's gonna burn the tires off, and then once those tires go, you can't get them back. We go back a ways to Hartz and Massey. That battle is simultaneously going on with the lead battle that is about to shape up. Massey has gained a little bit of time, but We'll jump to the front and watch that Taryn had another look to the inside, but again was not able to pull side by side. Big wiggle off turn number 4.
Down the front stretch, most drivers single file now. Main battle going on is the one for the lead, and Taryn looking to the inside of a Prad. Can get thrown out of 2 and will drop back behind.
Yeah, he had a look but lost it, and again here he comes with his power move to the inside that he is known for. He gets a pretty decent run off of 4, but he had to kind of pedal it a little bit and lost the momentum that I thought he was going to gain.
Yeah, well, Brad got a little bit loose, and I think that caused Taryn to have to check up. And Taryn once again driving in deep into turn 1 to the right, to the left rear quarter panel, and that caused Brad to go up the track a little bit. Yeah,
and he had to back off to Taryn to avoid left rear contact there. But Evan, one thing I have noticed with Taryn is he's solely looking to the inside. He's not trying to set up the right rear quarter panel and see if he can get to the outside at all.
Yeah, that is something that's kind of surprising, because I know a lot of times Wednesday night you would try to run the third group, get run out of the corner, get to the right rear quarter panel. But I guess Taryn just feels that comfortable with the inside lane, which once again he's looking to the inside of Fred for the lead.
Yeah, he is. And remember, every time he's on the inside, especially in a side-by-side battle, he is burning the right front off, trying to keep that thing down low as best he can. So the more he runs on the inside, the more he will hurt his tires even more. But we exit turn number 4, completing another lap, and LaPrad's still hanging on to it.
29 laps to go now for Briar LaPrade, who has to hold off Shane Taryn. These drivers now pull away from Michael Finlayson and Nick Massey behind them in 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, Hartz has dropped significantly off the back bumper of Massey. I thought that was going to be a position to exchange, but looks like Hartz, the way he has been, is losing position and losing comfort in that car over the long run. But again, Taryn is almost Talladega-style bump drafting. He's right to the bumper with no space to spare behind LaPrade.
Taryn looking underneath LaPrade once again in 1 and 2. Getting a little better of a run off the corner than he has, but I had to get out of the stall to keep it off LaPrade.
That will give LaPrade a little bit of breathing room, maybe 3 car lengths worth of it as we go through turns number 3 and 4. Taryn's going to have to take a deep breath, regroup, and just get to the bumper yet again, and maybe have to reassess his strategy for getting by.
He was able to make it work earlier, but it took quite a few laps for him to be able to do that. And I believe didn't it end up with him going around the outside to get by him?
No, I believe.
I think he went to his outside and was able to pinch him down. Or it might have been the other way around, I don't know.
Still a little battle going on between 13 Finlayson and Massey. Massey has a wiggle there off turn number 4, but that battle is seeming to have shaped up. But again, the best battle on the track is the one for position number 1 here, as there's 25 laps to go at this point in the race. Taryn's still trying that same approach, trying to get lower through the turn, get underneath, but every time he does it, he just cannot do anything off corner exit.
We'll see if he changes his strategy, which now he's looking to the outside of LaPrade in 3 and 4. First time he has done that, I think.
This
and
is
he's getting a little bit loose out of 4.
This
is getting a good run.
He needs to keep. That's what he needs to do. He needs to try to keep the momentum, get a really good run off turn number 4, and then at the turn in the center of the tri-oval, at the start-finish line, try to get to the right rear quarter panel.
And Taryn to the inside. They're side by side out of 2. This is the furthest that Taryn has been.
If he can do his classic dive bomb, he may be able to clear, but I don't think he has the position to do so.
He's going to try, but he's going to slide up and lose the position back to LaPrade. No, not quite.
LaPrade hit the wrong bump there and washed up just a little bit too far. That kind of killed the momentum for the outside, but LaPrade will still regain the momentum. He got it all the way at the end of the straightaway and was able to re-clear for the lead, and Taryn will have to try again.
And he is already trying again. He's to the door number of the 12 from LaPrade. Now back behind.
The only way Taryn will make that inside work, he needs to stay door to door. He needs to stay completely even side by side down the back straightaway. then he may be able to sail it off into turn 3 on the bottom.
He got a pretty good run out of 4, still all over the back bumper, down the front straightaway going into turn number 1. Let's see if he dives it in. No, not quite. He's back in his corner for a little bit. But through the center, you can just see how much he gains.
Yeah, and then he gets stuck right at this point. He can't go anywhere with that momentum, so he has to kind of kill it a little bit, stay in line, back off, and then that kills the position he would need entering turn 3.
Almost contacting the 3. Taryn was right on the back bumper of Laprade. Now out of 4, Taryn getting a pretty good run. See if he looks to the inside or the outside.
He's trying to look to the outside, but he does not have the momentum, so naturally so. Actually, he will kind of stay put for the time being. No, he will not. He'll take a dive to the inside again in 1 and 2.
It's the best run he's had out of 2. Both drivers getting loose. It's going to allow Taryn to stay at the left rear quarter panel. Going into turn number 3.
And he's going to go to the inside, but he's going to wash up the track and get loose, and he is able to hold on to it, but that will negate any kind of run. He will dive back in line and try it again.
He's lost quite a bit of ground now, but making it all back through the center of 1 and 2. Laprade getting loose out of 2.
Into turn number 3, Taryn gets to the back bumper yet again, drives it in. We'll see if he can hold the momentum. He gets the run through corner, through the center of the corner and corner exit. A little bit of a wiggle on both parts right there. See, he took a look to the outside, but he needs the momentum. He needs the momentum to be able to get to the right rear, and then I think the pass will be his, but he has yet to be able to do that. 20 laps to go.
Yeah, Taryn, like you said, still has 20 more laps to make this pass happen. And he can't get it done yet. He's trying the same thing over and over. He might need to change up his strategy if he wants to make that pass.
Yeah, exactly that, Evan. I just don't see it in its current circumstance.
Oh, Laprade really loose.
Now he's going to have the run to the outside. Could Laprade shut the door?
Laprade got loose, but didn't really get a run.
That was
Taryn didn't really get a run.
That's the first big mistake we've seen Laprade make in this most recent endeavor in the battle.
Oh,
no!
Wall. Caution out.
Just as I said, the first mistake was made. A catastrophic mistake was made by Laprade. Let's go back on the instant replay, PTR instant replay, and see what happened. You can see the looseness there off turn number 4 for Laprade, but he carries it off, sails it in turn 1.
Just tried to get too much on the exit, and that almost caught Shane Taryn up in that.
He wasn't really out of the groove there. He just got loose, and remember, when he got loose, he corrected it.
Tried to get too much on the exit.
He got loose, he corrected it, and when he corrected it, straight into the fence. At that point,
So, that was a thing.
And at that point in the experience there, while he was loose, I don't see what he could have really done, because if he maybe let off and tried just letting it correct itself to the inside, he would have gotten to Taryn and we would have taken out 2 cars. So he was, I mean, I think he kind of inadvertently played nice there and only took himself out when he could have probably took out Taryn with him.
So it looks like everyone will be coming down pit road this time.
And this will be a good old-fashioned shootout to the end. And does anybody have anything to play with to contend with Taryn? I think Fenlison might on the short run, but really
short. I think it's really going to depend on who gets out of pit road first, because we've seen how hard it is to pass. I think whoever gets it out of pit road first is going to have a major advantage.
And is anybody going to try to use the bumper? Is anybody going to...
Yes.
Oh, there you go. No hesitation on that statement, eh? Have the camera set up at the line. We'll see if there is any pit road battles that will affect the restart position as we exit pit lane. And I think...
Massey out second.
Not quite. Massey almost had it.
Thomas Bressy coming up pit road 5th. I believe that's the highest he has been tonight.
That is a correct statement, Evan. So we'll end up restarting this race most likely with 14 laps to go, I do believe. So we do have, I believe, factually 9 drivers on the lead lap. Actually, I'm not sure of that with Cole Begunia right now.
Actually, yeah, let's...
Cole Begunia is, he's been in the pits for quite some time doing some serious repairs, so that may only be 8 cars on the lead lap. Jacob Adams is 1 lap down in the 10th position, but he will not wave around. He will stay on he will make a pit stop.
Yeah, Adams just got the lucky dog, so 1 more caution that he is not involved, and he'll be back on the lead lap. And he was running around the 6th position just in this last run.
Yeah, he was a very fast driver before his issues at, to be honest, oh yeah, he had his connectivity issues and unfortunately was out of the race for a couple laps while he got back in, but remember he was a top 5 car when that happened, so if he can catch a quick caution, get a break, he can potentially salvage a pretty good finish out of this, but regardless of that, Evan, I mean, I think you're going to go with the obvious, but take your pick.
Nick Massey. I didn't go with who you thought, did I?
I don't want to be obvious, but I mean, I guess I'm going to be a realist and go with Taryn. I say that reluctantly. Unless Hartz can pull something out of the bag here, maybe Thomas Bressy, he's in 4th now. He'll start right behind Taryn on the outside lane. He really hasn't shown the speed or had the position to make us believe he can pull something off, but I mean, you never know. He's pulled some stuff out before, pulling wins out at the last second, so you also can never count out the 24.
You're making points for like 3 different drivers. Who you picking? Taryn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be biased, so I'm going to give credit to everybody. A lot of good drivers in this league, so everyone deserves their credit, but I will go with the obvious. But we'll see what happens as we have 1 to go. Everyone gets doubled up behind the iRacing pace car, and we will get ready for what hopefully is the final restart of the night.
We'll have, what, about 13 laps or so to go?
14 to go.
14 to go? 13 was to the green?
14 to go at the green.
14 at the green, okay.
See how shrunken the field is right now with all the attrition that we have endured tonight, but we will have a good finish with a bunch of fast drivers up front in the field right now. Remember, the leader is the 38 on the outside groove. Massey to the inside. Take it away, Mr. Evan Black.
Coming out of turn number 4 now, waiting on the pace car to pull down in the pit road and give the field into the hands of Shane Taryn. Pace car on pit road now, waiting on Taryn to get on the throttle. He does. We're back underway here at Kentucky.
Bressy was asleep on that restart.
Taryn got the start he needed. He got the jump over Massey and everyone else. Ryan Hart's looking to the inside of Massey right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Thomas Bressy was not ready for that at all. That killed his momentum. He was in a prime position, but he will drop back to 5th now. Massey.
Oh, Bressy just about in the wall.
Just
really
about was. Holds on to it, but loses all the time in the world. Not a very good lap this time by for Bressy, but for everybody else, they do carry on and gain some spots. Massey, let's see if anybody can compete with 38. I'm going to have to give it to Massey at this point, but he has to gain 3.5 tenths to be able to do so.
See, now Fendelson looking to the outside of Massey. Fendelson restarted back in 5th. Now he's on the inside of on the outside of Massey.
And this is the prime position to be in to make the pass. So if he can stay here and carry it off turn number 4, he should be able to get the momentum down the front straightaway, and that'll give him 10 laps to see if he does have anything to try to get the win.
See, it looks like he will clear into turn number 1. Yes, he does. So now Nick Massey back to the 3rd position with Ryan Hartz all over his back bumper. Ryan Hartz looking to the outside now. Out number 2, Massey will get the run.
Down the back straightaway we come for 12 laps to go. Massey does hold on to the 3rd position for the time being. Hart's trying to take that away from him, and then Michael Fendelson now in the second position.
He's now only in the second position.
Yes, add that to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. And let's just pull up the lap tracker, see who was the fastest at the top 5 last time by, and who else would it be besides your leader, Taryn, by about 4/100ths over Finlayson last time by.
We'll see if he has anything for Taryn. I really don't know if he will.
Doesn't appear so on the statistics right now. Taryn now out to a 6/10 second lead. It's only been 3 laps since the restart, so we'll see what other battles may come about and change before this race is over. See, Begunia here is in a beaten and battered car. He still is on the lead lap. Trying to catch Joshua Adams. That is for the 7th position. We also have
a couple of beat-up cars there, but only for 7th.
Yes.
I think those cars have a rear end, rear bumper cover.
Thomas Baresi losing a spot, or at least potential. Actually, no, that is not for a position, but Jacob Adams, remember, he's 1 lap down after his issues, has been able to gain 1 of them back, not all of them, but Thomas Baresi
to go.
Thomas Baresi on lead lap in the 5th position, and in best battle on the circuit right now is for 2nd position. There's about 2/10 separating Massey and Finlayson. Shane Taryn now up to a 3/4 second lead nearly. Go back to the bumper coverless battle, which is for the 7th and 8th position between Joshua Adams and Cole Begunia at this point. And
looks like Begunia was a little bit quicker last time by than Joshua Adams. Adams getting a little bit loose out of turn 2. Begunia right to the back, not bumper cover.
And it seems like even the front end damage between those two machines is almost identical. It's almost as if they're twins, except the 88 has a horrible sponsor on the hood. Boo. Anyways, we carry on before I
quit being salty.
Not salted up, peppered. Yes, I know that made no sense. We will carry back on to race action. We will go back to the front and talk about your leader, Shane Taryn, now out to a nearly 1 second lead, 8.5 to be exact, as we approach 6 laps to go in this race. Taryn has been out front for 81 of the 131 circuits around the speedway tonight. This would be a Kentucky sweep for Taryn if he is to win tonight. Winning the Contender Series race on Wednesday and
the race.
And then coming here into the Fast Track Sims Cup Series and starting the round of 2 in the best way possible with a dominating performance here at the Kentucky Speedway, but still 5 laps to go in the race, and we have eclipsed the iRacing cutoff lap.
Taryn got a little bit loose out of 4, and Finlayson actually was a little bit quicker, but I don't think it'll be enough unless Taryn makes more mistakes.
Yeah, he was 1/2 tenth quicker, but obviously with a 9/10 second deficit, that is going to have to change a lot more radically than that, but still noteworthy. And then for the 2nd position, Finlayson has gained a about 4/10 second lead over Massey, so that battle has kind of ceased out.
Taryn back to about a 10th quicker last time by.
Out to a nearly 1 second lead at this point. Just about a second actually, as he exits turn number 2.
These 2 bumper coverless cars are still battling.
Yep, 7th and 8th position, Begunia and Joshua Adams doing the best they can. I mean, 1 point is still 1 point in the grand scheme of things, so Begunia all the way to the apron.
Trying hard, man, to get down there.
We've seen that cause. I don't remember who it was, but somebody Hensley went all the way down there to the apron, and that ended up wrecking him. But at the speed these guys are going, I don't think that's going to be of too much issue, but Taryn will navigate off of turn number 4 here, and we will have 2 laps to go in this race.
Right now, it's pretty much locked up for Taryn unless he makes a mistake. Which I really don't know if he will.
Down the back straightaway for the penultimate time, and into turn number 3 is the 38 nationwide machine of Shane Taryn. He has dominated the race. He got the pole, and he will come off turn number 4 and have one more trip around this speedway to take the checkered flag.
Taryn has a 9/10 of a second lead over Michael Finlayson. Coming through turn number 1 and 2 for the final time. And he is still pulling away from Finlayson coming onto the back straightaway.
He had some battling with Brian LaPrat in the mid-segment of the race until LaPrat had his catastrophic issue off turn number 2, and ever since then, it's been clean sailing for the number 38 machine. In dominating fashion, Shane Taryn comes through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here at the Kentucky Speedway. And round of 8, race number 1 goes to Shane Taryn here at the Kentucky Speedway.
Michael Finlayson finishing in second and Nick Massey in third.
So we offer our congratulations to the number 38 of Shane Taryn for his dominating victory here tonight, and we will step away for a brief moment and get ready for the post-race show and interview. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
All the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to like K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now, so I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot, so it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that and get beat by Logan Seavey every time I run a sprint car. So the level of competition on iRacing is better than real life. I mean, you've got thousands of drivers on there that, a lot of them are probably better than the people you see on TV. They just haven't had the opportunities to make it. But can kick butt on there, and you can spend all day long running thousands of laps a day, so you can get yourself really good at it. So competition level is just unbelievable really on there. I mean, everybody's been asking for dirt on there for forever. So when they announced it, I got really, really excited. And honestly, it's blown my expectations away. The cars, to me, drive really good when the track's hooked up. The visual part of the racetrack changing is amazing. How you can run some laps and see it start to get shiny, and then you feel it getting slick. Areas of the racetrack getting dirty, and then you get some cars run through there and it cleans off and gets grip back. It's nuts. The tear-off feature is really cool.
And we're back here on PTR TV for the post-race show after tonight's action at the Kentucky Speedway. And we will start post-race interviews. Evan Black will talk to your third-place finisher, Nick Massey.
Stayed out of all the mess and kept my nose clean for the most part.
Yeah, we saw a lot of drivers slipping into sliding out there. How are the cars handling?
That was a lot of fun. Definitely, tight and then really loose off at 2 and 4. But yeah, it was kind of like last week at Charlotte. A lot of fun.
All right. Well, is there anyone you would like to thank or shout out to?
Yeah, just shout out to Shane and for the win tonight, and my teammate. Him and Briar were definitely class of the field there. Hate to see Briar. Them two were racing real hard. It was fun to watch. Hoping to get up there, but didn't work out. But Josh and Jake, my teammates. Chris, who's probably watching, and you guys too for doing the broadcast.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for talking with us, and congrats on your third place finish.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one.
You too. Now, Corey will talk to second place finisher, Michael Finlayson.
All right, Michael, you finished second here tonight in kind of a little bit of a chaotic race, but it had its moments. So talk about how your race went overall tonight.
Yeah, overall it was definitely a roller coaster. Happy I could bring it home P2. Early in the race, I just didn't know how to drive it at first. I think I qualified somewhat 4th, and then I just dropped back to like 10th early in the run, and then I went through the grass pretty early, and then I had some more contact with Global Begonia down the front stretch. Pretty much just floored me and tried to intent wreck me, but I somehow recovered from that and recovered from a second place. I got up to second. That was the best I could do. I wish I could have raced Shane at least at some point that race, but that last run I just wasn't close enough. I restarted 5th with 10 to go. I tried to dart towards him, but it was just too late at that point. But Shane just passed me in all-time wins with this league, and I'm coming back. I'm trying to beat him back. So we've had some pretty good battles. I'm hoping to maybe recreate some of those in the coming weeks. I finally have some off time from work, and I could do some of these races. It's definitely a fun setup, fun night. It was definitely fun to wheel this thing around and have to save tires. It was a lot of fun racing guys like Nick and Shane and Briar up front, and Ryan also. Yeah, it was basically a roller coaster for me.
Yeah, it definitely. I know how that feels when your stats get broken. You got to get back on the wheel and try to gain those back. So we'll look forward to watching you try to tackle that goal. But who do you want to give a shout out to for your second place finish tonight?
I want to thank Mobile One for hopping on board again. They're on board Shane's car too. Evil Motorsports. Obviously, Shane used to be a teammate, but Evil Motorsports, I think it's dead now. But Nick, obviously, for me clean. Josh, Jake, we're all on the same team channel together. We get along really well and race each other really clean and respectfully. So I got to thank those guys. Thanks for Cody for putting this on and letting me come back after all the issues that I've had, and letting me take some important off time that I've needed after like all the chaotic things that have been happening to me lately. And thanks for you guys for broadcasting. It's been a pleasure.
All right, 10-4, man. Thanks for that, and congrats to your finish, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, and now Evan Black will talk to the victor, Shane Taryn.
Shane Taryn, you come home with the win here tonight. What are your thoughts after the race?
It was pretty fun. I'm sure you guys enjoyed that with Briar. I do hate that. For Briar. I feel really bad. I know what that feels like. But man, that was a lot of fun. That was like clean, hard racing. I know there was a lot of tempers flaring tonight. So it was good that me and Briar just kind of like stayed out of it and did our own thing. But it was fun. It was pretty good. Like, this track has eluded me a lot in this car. I'm usually really fast here, just can never win. So it's really good to get a win here in the Cup car.
Yeah, we saw you driving in really deep into those corners. Did that hurt? Do you feel like that hurt your tires much, any?
Actually, no, it didn't hurt my tires at all. Considering, I don't know, because I was in TeamSpeak with my teammates and Michael, and they would tell me their right fronts at the end of the run, and mine was only like 1% off of it, and I was driving hard. So I don't know what they were doing. They said they were saving tires, but I think it's just the track in general. So I just drove it in hard in turns 3. I let off early in turns 1 and rolled through, and that's what was getting me the good run on turns 1 and 2. And in turns 3, I just drove it in deep because I didn't know how to run that corner any other way. So now the tires held up, so I was surprised.
Do you feel like it was much harder to pass on the bottom than it was on the top, or do you think it's pretty even?
You could pass on the bottom if you could stay side by side with them. Like, if I could have stayed with Briar off turn 2, I think I would have gotten him. Like, I would have gotten half a car length in front of him and then cleared him entering turn 1. But that's the only way you have to do it, or wait, hopefully they get loose like Briar did. But unfortunately, he overcorrected or something. I don't know, but yeah, it was hard to pass, but it's possible.
All right, congrats on your finish. Is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, well, thank you guys for broadcasting. Cody for the league. I'm gonna give a shout out to my teammates Jake, Josh, and Nick. Walker didn't race tonight. Definitely want to give a shout out to Briar for racing me tonight. That was really clean and hard racing. And then of course Michael, who I heard in his interview was gonna try and claim his win list, most wins back, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep pulling away. So.
All right, thanks for talking with us, and again, congrats on your win here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so that is the post-race interview, so let's wrap up tonight's coverage with the final results here at Kentucky Speedway. With the victory was Shane Taryn with a 38 machine. He led 88 laps in tonight's victory. Michael Fenlison in second, Nick Massey in third, Ryan Hartz in fourth, and Thomas Bressie rounds out the top 5, and then running out the top 10 is Robert Kenny, Cole Begunia, Josh Adams, Brian LaPrade, and Jacob Adams.
And then Rusty Cable finishing in 11th, Tyler Hensley in 12th, Jonathan Wall in 13th, Cody Tabor in 14th, Ronald Head in 15th, Kyle Zimmer in 16th, and then Casey Shue ran out the field in 17th.
Frank Hartley Jr. did not take a lap tonight. He will technically qualify or finish in the 8th position tonight. Wouldn't be a broadcast without our sponsors here on PTR TV. Air Movement Fabrications, a family-run business established in 2012. With 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, we offer a wide variety of services. Includes ducting, ventilation, extractions, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Air Movement Fabrication is the ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. Local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Krutz Custom Graphics is the motorsports design specialist. And then overlays by iBog. iBog iRacing broadcast overlay graphics, custom graphics, coding, theme design, and for iRacing's two main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking for custom overlays to make your channel shine, talk to Jason Allison at iBog iRacing broadcast overlay graphics. And always take a look at our Patreon. Keep broadcast quality high and costs low for league owners. Need a little help from the fans. Check out Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a patron, you will receive rewards depending on how much you donate. So check out being a patron at patreon.com/PTRTV.
You started out so fast and you slowed the way down.
Yeah, I struggle with the pace on that. That's not my forte, but sponsors must be done. But that is another broadcast here on PTR TV. We brought you the Hardline Cup Series. We bring you the Hardline Contender Series Wednesday. And of course, on Mondays, we bring you Cyber Racing Association. Tuesdays, the American Sim Racing Series. Full week of racing here on Primetime Racing TV. We'd love to have you with us. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so and join us for all of our coverage. A lot of great races here on the iRacing service. Signing out of the booth is Corey Silva and Evan Black. Have a great night, everyone, and we will catch you next time.
Have a good night.
And catch you next time.